My parents moved to Alaska when I was 17. They ran away from home and left me. Brother Kilgore gave me an apartment there at the church, and I started going to University of Houston for a professional degree in accounting. And so I kept working, going to school, and lived there at the church. It's probably the only thing that kept me, because I was all alone. It sort of kept me. I worked full time, went to school full time, stayed up and studied. But I also, this was when I drew closer to my pastor, because when I would get in at midnight, exhausted from the day, his car would be outside the prayer room. And I had a key to the prayer room, so I would just go in there and just sit and listen to him pray. And it was relaxing to me. And it was just, and he would see me there and he would pray with me. And that's how Brother Kilgore taught us. If you want to learn how to pray, find somebody that can pray and just sit and listen. And I did that day after day after day after day. And then he would see me there, we'd pray, and he knew I didn't have much money. And so we would go to an all-night coffee shop because he had a sweet tooth. He loved hot fudge sundaes, and he knew I wouldn't judge him. And so we would go, and he would just talk to me about my life. It was one of those occasions when I was trying to figure out what to do that he just said, Ken, I won't call you, but you need to realize there is a calling. You're going to have to find out what it is and when to do that. And so I was already married. I was a CPA. So Tessie went in one room to pray. I went in another room to pray, and I was hearing nothing. And so I did something that nobody should ever do. I just opened my Bible and put my finger on a verse. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. I do not recommend this, And I sought for a man to stand in the gap. And I thought, well, that's not it. Turned the page, and woe is me if I preach not the gospel, And it's one verse after another. And I just was so shook up. And I came out of the room, and Tessie came out of her room. And I said, what did he tell you? And she said, you go first. And I said, I think I'm supposed to preach. And she said, that's what the Lord told me. And I met with my dad-in-law, who was the pastor of the church, because he had started a church outside of Houston. Come to find out, the principal of the Christian school had the night before resigned, and he said, you're about to be the principal of Christian school. And so I cut my pay by 5 and entered into the starvation of ministry and wouldn't trade a thing for it.